I'm standing on Mount Gerizim, known in the Bible as the Mountain of Blessing. The history of this area goes all the way back to the book of Genesis and the patriarch Abraham. But thousands of years later, this area is now home to many Palestinian terror groups. CBN News talked with Joe Truzman from the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, overlooking the Palestinian city of Nablus, ancient Shechem, for a clearer picture of what allowed this growth in terror to happen.
The status of the West Bank is unfortunately, of conflict, especially in the last year and a half. Militant organizations such as Palestinian Islamic Jihad, Hamas, and Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigades have established themselves in the northern West Bank and have been launching attacks against Israeli citizens, Israeli troops, and Israeli settlements.
Truzman explains how a weakened Palestinian Authority helped open the door for these groups to flourish.
What's going on is that the Palestinian Authority has lost its influence over the years in areas such as the northern West Bank. And what's happened is that these Palestinian militant organizations have filled in the vacuum that's been left by the PA. And what's happening is that they've been expanding, and by expanding, they've been able to launch these attacks against Israeli targets.
Iran is also filling this vacuum with its own agenda.
Their goal is to destabilize the West Bank. It's in their interest to do that. And they are undermining the Palestinian Authority. What they're also doing is supporting these groups such as Palestinian Islamic Jihad, for example, or Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigades. And what's happening again is we're seeing this huge increase in violence over the last year and a half.
In order to show the world the true picture of what's happening in the West Bank, the Foundation for Defense of Democracies has created this interactive map on their website.
We've taken data from local media, we've taken data from IDF statements and claims by militant organizations, and we've put it together in this visual, and which describes and shows, or illustrates rather, all the violence that's been happening since at least late March of this year. And it's very impressive as far as you can really see all the shooting attacks and everything that's been happening in the past year and a half here. It's unfortunately, it's very sad to see, but it's reality.
In March of 2022, the IDF launched Operation Break the Wave to contain the violence and prevent further attacks. Last year, the IDF arrested about 2,500 Palestinian suspects and says it stopped 500 potential terror attacks. Even with that effort, Truzman points to the Palestinian Authority as needing to fill the vacuum and suppress these terror organizations. It's a reality many people in the States and around the world need to know.
Unfortunately, Israel's sitting on a volcano. And what I mean by that is all these attacks that have been happening over the year and a half has gotten to the point where I'm concerned that attack inside of Israel that's linked to the West Bank militant group is going to spur an Israeli military operation in areas such as the northern West Bank.
People in and out of Israel will be watching to see how Israel's new government will respond to this growing threat. Chris Mitchell, Mount Gerizim, Samaria.